Hey, what's up everybody? It's Kellen here from Start Your Systems, and welcome to another MX vs. ATV All Out Pro MX vs. ATV 250 Nationals Championship gameplay video. That is the world's longest title. We are moving on to rounds 5 through 8 today, continuing on with our string of doing 4 Nationals at a time, and I've got a surprise underneath my legs for all you fine people out there today. I am on a Husqvarna. Oh my goodness. Technically, it's actually a Husqvarna, because that's how it's pronounced in Sweden. No, I'm kidding. So yeah, they have DLC available now. It's been available all last week on console because there's still a lot of the frame rate issues with the console games. I decided to wait until this week and get it on PC. I actually haven't purchased all of it, and I probably won't, but they have Husqvarna, KTM, and Kawasaki as the DLC options. I got the 250 Husky and the 450 KTM so far. I might get both Kawi options as just kind of a capper now. But essentially, it's 4-stroke DLC because there are no 2-strokes. They haven't got the KTM 125 or KTM 300 or Husky 250 2-stroke, or KTM 250 2-stroke, or Husky 125. Any of that stuff, that's not in there. Kawasaki, the Japanese brand, no longer produces modern day 2-strokes, so they're probably, I would be willing to bet, not going to include like a 2005 KX250, although they should. Am I right, James Stewart of that era? So yeah, just decided to get the 250 Husky and the 450 KTM to start with, and rep the 250 Husky in my career mode videos, which, like I said, we're continuing on with the 250 ATV MX Nationals today. Whoop. And I wanted to get back on the 250F in this particular national because I was using the 125 in the last video and it was super OP, so I felt like it was only fair to get back on a bike that I actually looked like I was struggling on, although it's not really helping with that case right now. I'm still dominating these folks. Just getting on the, before I get too off topic with the DLC though, each of these bikes, the bike, not the brand, the bike is $3, $2.99 to be exact. In Steam, the DLC store in Steam, the Xbox Marketplace, and the PlayStation Network store, you can make your own opinions on that. I don't have that strong of an opinion saying that this is stupid, but I mean, it is kind of stupid, let's be honest. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and blow MX vs. ATV. They're giving us DLC, and they're giving us brand name bikes and all that business, but that's a steep asking price. I could understand $3 to get all of the brand motorcycles and quads. Like, get, I guess, like Honda, let's say, is a good example because they make quads still. If you spent $2.99, you would get the Honda 250F, 450, and then the same thing for the quads. The whole shebang. None of this, you just get this one or the other. I think that's the way they should do it. It's too expensive this way because the DLC that they just came out with, the Kawasaki 250 and 450, the KTM 250, 350, and 450, and then the Husky 250, 350, and 450. Those are 8 bikes at $3 a piece, essentially. You're paying $24. $24 to get 3 brands, all of the stuff within 3 brands, which isn't really all the stuff because I'd imagine some of those are going to have 2-strokes eventually. And that's basically half the price of the game. So I can totally understand where people are coming from and complaining about something like this because it's really like you're buying a game that's not the whole game, if you get what I mean. If you buy Forza, yes, you can get DLC, you know, Formula One cars, I think, and stuff like that, but you still get a very large selection of vehicles to choose from all sorts of name brand manufacturers when you get the game up front. And I really feel that that's the way they should go about with this this whole process. Maybe even along the lines of like, give us the 250 and 450 from every brand and then make Two Strokes DLC, but then people would complain about that too, I get. So there's no winning in this situation because I think that they're trying to, you know, gather as much money as they can. I also tend to believe that, let me see how I can word this nicely. The manufacturers are making it this way. Like, they're saying, yes, you can have our machines in game, but you have to make it, you know, this much money so we get a return on our investment, or, you know, something like that. I'm not totally sold that that's the case, because why then would manufacturers be in Monster Energy Supercross and MXGP and all those games like that without having to purchase any DLC to get them? But MX vs. ATV has always done this when it comes to licensed manufacturers. I shouldn't say always, because there were times that they did have the manufacturers in the game straight up, but I'm more suggesting in the last decade or so it's been a DLC based thing. That's why we had on Reflex, we had to get a Blaze instead of a Honda, or a Dakumoto instead of a Kawasaki. They, for some reason, ventured away getting the official licensed rights to include all the manufacturers in the game upon release, and now have gone down this road of making it DLC, but it's honestly, in my opinion, kind of expensive DLC. And like I said, that the only reason I can imagine why it is that there's some sort of royalty attached to each DLC purchase that a manufacturer then gets, and that's what gets them to probably want their motorcycles in the game even more, and probably advertise with MX vs. ATV and stuff. But it still just doesn't make a whole ton of sense to me. From a marketing standpoint or a game development standpoint or anything really. And I'm not trying to rag too much on the MX vs. ATV guys, because I think that, you know, they kind of dug their grave, if you will, with this whole idea a while ago. And I think beyond that, they've done a pretty good job of making a game that's pretty fun and enjoyable to play. And I'm not going to cry bloody murder because the DLC isn't free. Who cares, in my opinion? They give us bikes that come with the game that are plenty capable to ride. They're just not the manufacturers. So if you want the manufacturers, you got to pay. That's just what they basically come out and said. And that's where I'm going to cut it off from there. I'm not going to keep talking about this. For what it's worth, though, I do feel that the bikes look tip-top. I don't know if they 3D scanned them or if, you know, they worked very, very closely to get all the dimensions correct, but, you know, another side view, and I'll go this side now. I feel like this is a really clean looking bike. Obviously, we don't have any of the like blend files or anything like that, so we don't know exactly how many polys it is to, you know, make this. Maybe it takes up a lot of the game space to have this in game, but it does look like a very nice Husqvarna. At the end of this video, I'll jump into my editor mode and show you guys the KTM 450, which I can't obviously use in the 250 Nationals, but I'll show that off a little bit so you can see for yourself. Just kind of trying to get you guys to see what's out there, what's available to you, because maybe if you're playing on PC, you didn't know DLC came out. I often don't look at DLC for Steam stuff, if I'm being honest. So there's plenty of games that have tons of DLC that I play a lot that I actually don't know have much DLC at all. So, but I'm sure they have DLC. But this is the first of, I'm sure, many DLC installations that they're going to roll out with. They're going to have more machines, from what I understand, coming out. This isn't going to be the only ones. They're going to have other bike brands. I can't swear to which one, so I'm not going to say it's going to be this one or that one. But obviously this is only 3 of the 6 major dirt bike manufacturers. For all of you quad folks out there, I honestly can't tell you whether or not they're going to include Polaris or Banshee or anything like that. I have no clue, because well, to be honest with you, I don't keep up very much with quad stuff, so it's not really something that I feel like I could talk about. But I will definitely keep you posted. If something like that comes out, I'll, you know, if they have a new quad release or something, I'll purchase it and try it out so you guys can see it for yourself. Love showing these things off so you guys can make an informed decision as a consumer whether or not you wish to purchase these vehicles. Bam. I did also upgrade pretty much to the max my 250F, so that could be partially the reason why I'm doing so well against all these guys. But really, this is a good opportunity for me to go through and see all of the national tracks on a bike that I personally don't like in this game. The 250F kind of sucks. It's very down on power for some reason. I don't know why. The 125 is significantly better than it. Do a little start from right here. Oh, didn't know where I was going. I've done this track already. It's weird that the 125 is better though. Like, am I crazy in thinking that they're maybe swaying a little bit of biasedness towards two strokes or something like that? It's not like the 250 two-stroke is significantly better, but the 125 is. And then the 500 two-stroke is more powerful, but I don't know if it's quite better than the 450. This is so weird. I can understand the 250F being down on power and then the 125 being very down on power comparatively, but even that I don't super get, because modern day 250Fs, especially factory ones comparatively to a factory or a stock 450, are amazingly powerful. 250Fs can put upwards of high 40s, low 50s in the horsepower range now, which was unfathomable 10 years ago, especially in the carbureted days. So I don't necessarily get where they maybe got their numbers in this game when it comes to 250 dyno tests or whatever. What's interesting about this Husky though is that it kind of doesn't really feel like it's super down on power. I'm sure next time I ride a 450F I'll be like, holy cow, this thing is super slow. But I feel like it's pretty fun to ride because it's very nimble. The speeds it gets going are not too bad at all. I feel like, you know, 50 miles per hour is probably a good range for a 250F to be able to do. But the 450s in this game, for some reason, they just feel faster. And the 125s are faster, clearly, because I was doing much better on it than I am on my 250F in this series. So I don't get it. For those of you that may be watching this video series for the first time, I'm playing on hard difficulty. I haven't quite stepped over the boundary to be on full all-time mode, and unfortunately once you start a series on a certain difficulty in this game, you're stuck with it. So I would prefer, actually, at this point, because I'm whooping on these guys, to switch over to, I think it's all-time mode, but I can't, so lesson learned. I'll just start the next series on the hardest difficulty and run with it. Still feeling like there's a bit of frame lag, a little bit of screen tearing going on too. Here and there, you'll just notice a dash across the screen or something. That was a big problem with the game upon release, was massive frame issues, screen tearing all over. They've patched it a couple times. I think they're on 1.05 now, so they're coming around. They're getting there. They're working on a couple things. As far as I understand, unfortunately, you Xbox One players out there are still having issues. I'm not too sure where they are with the patch release cycle on that. I know, being an Xbox owner in the past, that Tuesdays used to be release cycle for most things, patches included. Like, they used to have weird stipulations through Microsoft on when a patch and when items for DLC and stuff could be released. Unfortunately, I switched away from Xbox more or less permanently after getting the Red Ring of Death 4 times consecutively, and that happened, oddly enough, right before MX vs. ATV Alive came out. And so I had switched over to PlayStation 3 at that point, and this was the 360 days, so I haven't ever owned a 1 put that out there and say that I can't speak for the one owners out there, but 360 screwed me. Of course, I get PS3 and get all set up, which I already had, but you know, I was going full PS3 at that point. Purchased MXers ATV Alive, got the James Stewart Compound DLC, and I was like, oh yeah, man, this is gonna be sick. Gonna get this game, gonna play it right when it comes out, and then, bam, PlayStation Network gets hacked. I think the day that All Out was released, it was either the day before or the day itself that All Out was, why am I saying All Out, Alive was released. Oh man, I was heated because the network was down and therefore us PlayStation players couldn't get our downloadable content, which was the James Stewart Compound, which I was so wanting to play. And yeah, that left a sour taste in my mouth with PlayStation for a while, but I mean, I guess, what are you gonna do? Sometimes hackers are just too good. Made me want to go back to Xbox. That was the most recent time that I was like, yep, I should go back to Xbox. One of these days I'll get all the consoles. I'm getting to be a little bit older than most people I know who game. 25 isn't that old, but I know a lot of people now in their teens that game, and starting to become more the elder statesman, and I'm trying to stick tight with the group of people that I still game with, and they're mostly all older than me still, but seems like as the years go on, less of them are playing. And I totally forgot where I was about to go with this. I was about to say, hey. No, I was going to say that I'm getting up there a little bit in terms of gaming years, and I also feel like my love for gaming is growing more as I get older. Like I feel more and more interested to buy the Nintendo Switch or an Xbox One or a VR headset for my PC. I did a complete PC rebuild at the beginning of this year, for example. Like I'm getting more and more into gamers mode, I guess. Like when I started SYS with Jeremy, I wouldn't even say I was that much of a gamer. I played MX Simulator a lot, but beyond that, I didn't play many video games at all. And then, I don't know, started playing more of like CSGO, Overwatch, and Rocket League and stuff like that, and now I feel like I game a lot. Enough about me, let's keep talking about some dirt bikes, my friends. I have a thing equipped on this 250F that I also have equipped on most of my other bikes that I've played with, called it's the Holeshot device, or so I thought. If you go into your tuning menu when you're working on the bike to add items to it, there is an option to add a Holeshot thing. I don't think they even call it a Holeshot device. It just says Holeshot, I think. And I don't get it because a Holeshot device is a thing that is like a little... I don't know what you call it. It's kind of like those things on the sides of canopies, little clickers, little clip-in things that go on your forks that clamp your fork down to help keep the front end low so you get a better start, etc., etc. But when you select the Holeshot device option as part of your tuning menu, you don't get that thing on your forks, so I don't really understand what the whole Holeshot device thing in this game really is. You just equip it and then have it, but it doesn't, I don't know if it does anything, like if you get better starts from it, or if it's really anything at all. But I'll check into it. In fact, I'll show you exactly what I mean at the end of this video, like I said, when I show you the KTM 450, so you can at least see that in game as well. Day one release of this game, I wasn't too fond of the national tracks I was playing, but as I played these ones more, I feel like they're pretty fun. Got a good playability to them. I have just no rhythm on them, but they still seem fairly fun, in my opinion. It really seems like you can stick in third gear just about anywhere on these tracks and be totally fine. Oh, well, my dog has found something at the door. Scooter! There we go. We live above 5 garages. So every once in a while there will be somebody that opens a garage beneath us, and good old Scooter Pup loves to bark at them for really no reason other than to just be a dog. He's still growling in the background. Anyway, but third gear, OP as can be on these bikes. I mean, I haven't shifted since 1903 maybe, and I'm running this thing strong, no problem. I want to do a comparison video of the sounds in this game. Maybe that'll be the next project I do, because I can't really tell how different the 250F sounds to the 450. I'm very bad when it comes to direct memory, like right up front, so I can't exactly remember what the 450 sounds like, but I tend to believe that the 250F has a little higher pitch to it. Just a touch. But the 450 has like a growl going to it. Oh, that was a cool whip. For those of you that might still be confused on how to whip, you know we have a whip tutorial on our channel. MXRS ATV guys are kind enough to repost that a few times. I think they posted it on Twitter 3 times and their Facebook once. Trying to get you guys to understand whips a little bit better, because there are 5, but probably more viable options for whips, but at least in the video about whipping and tutorials that I did, it has 5 separate whips. The standard whip, the scrub, which I wouldn't call whip, but you kind of do whip-ish things on it. A turn down, a turn up, and an oppo whip. Those are the 5 whip types I show off in that whip tutorial. So try it out, check it out, try them out. And I'm gonna wrap up this video here. Well, not yet, because I'm gonna show you guys the KTM first, but I'm getting closer and closer to the end. By the way, you may notice I've been running a very similar gear set in a recent few videos, this fly gear, Fox boots, Fox helmet. That is pretty dang close to my real life riding gear setup. I have several sets of Fox gear that would go well with my Fox helmet, but some of my newest gear sets are fly racing gear. And so this gear that I have on is actually a little bit different than the red, black, and white stuff that I have that's fly. But the helmet, the boots, the goggles, I have exactly those helmet, boot, and goggles in real life for when I go riding. So it's just my setup, bros. And I ride a Honda in real life, so it goes well. All right. Getting some stuff done here. We're going to exit because there's 4 more to go, and those will be in a different video. But I'm going to show you guys the KTM now. Start off by going to the garage vehicle. So this is the Husky, and this is what I mean. So let me actually go to tuning. You can't, and I have all this stuff turned up because really I don't know how to tune stuff yet. I'll figure that out and do a video at some point. But look at the max setting is traction, which is 2.8, and I think actually I can change something. Engine maybe, and I get more traction. Yeah, so I turn the engine down, I get more traction, but if I want the engine turned up, I get less traction. I don't know. It's so stupid. Like, why if you go to vehicle, see how much power, traction, blah 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 this 250F has, and then I'll go over to the 125. Look at that. Everything's better on the 125. Significantly so. The power isn't that much better. Everything else is through the roof though. 3 or above on everything. I don't even get it. And that 125 isn't fully upgraded. I don't have nearly any upgrades on it. So this is the KTM 450. Like I said, I've mostly upgraded it. Still need to get the full engine package and suspension package. But I like to wait until I have the 10,000 credits, or moto points, I think it's called, to actually unlock it. But this is pretty much all you can do. You can't change the graphic kits on them. For some reason, I think they're gonna have graphic kits coming. You can change kind of everything else that you're normally able to change. Like I could put different wheels on it. Could change the exhaust. It comes with several different exhaust options. Then the engine tunes and stuff like that. This is the thing I'm talking about. Holeshot, Rainbow Blitz Start. But nothing appears on the forks when you have it. So I don't really get it. Anyway. So that's the KTM. This is the Husky. As I said, got mostly everything upgraded. The only thing I don't have is a full suspension upgrade yet. But I will work towards that at some point. And that's another video. Another 4 nationals down. I got the Husky, I got the KTM. I'll probably get a Cowie for the next video. Show that off a little bit. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate every one of you that out there that appreciates the work I put in. And even if you hate me, that's cool, whatever. But still leave a comment and let me know how much you hate me so I can at least relay that information to my own consciousness. But yeah, thanks for watching another video here on the channel. My name is Kellen, and I'll see you guys in the next one.